Welcome to Haven Ridge Adventures. I'm Michael, and today we're talking about stuff you need for overlanding. We may not be in the same situation as a lot of people. We may be better prepared, but I want to show you today some stuff that I just went around. I went around the house, gathered up stuff from different locations around, our camping gear, different things like that. I wanted to show you some stuff that I feel is important to have in your vehicle for overlanding that you might just have laying around. So I got a lot of stuff to show you, covers a lot of different things. Let's get to the video. As you can see, we have a variety of stuff to show you today. And Cassidy waves and says hi. You having fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't wait to get out and go overlanding, right? And what's your doll's name?
Pollyanna.
Pollyanna. Gotta have a doll. This is an old school wooden one. See, it's like wood. We found it at Goodwill for like $1.
Her short name's Polly.
We love Goodwill. Side note, for overlanding stuff, camping gear, you can find some good deals at Goodwill. In fact, I'll mention a lot of the stuff that I found at Goodwill. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start off here in the front with some of the stuff that I like, the guy stuff. To me, you know, it's guy stuff. A good machete, because when you're out in the backcountry, you never know how this might help you get through some stuff, deal with some stuff, cut down smaller trees and or limb branches, all the kind of stuff. This is just a Gerber, nothing super fancy, but I need to rehone the edge a little bit. As you can see, it's received some use. Yeah. So we also use it great for cutting. We're here in the Pacific Northwest in Western Washington. Blackberry bushes grow everywhere. They're the bane of my existence.
Dad?
So what, baby girl? Love you, baby. All right. Another thing is a good quality knife. This little Mora knife, inexpensive. Not, you know, so you're not gonna be batoning with this, kindling or anything like that, because it's not that thick, not that strong. It's a little bendable, but these things are sharp. Very, very sharp edge, inexpensive, very durable. I've gone through a lot of these things, and they last a long time. So going through them is a lot while we're out in the outdoors, and they're inexpensive. Mora knife, made in Sweden. Good knife. Especially, I've used them as cooking knife. You know, when I'm out camping, I'll be chopping up fruits, veggies, all that kind of stuff, meat. Great knife. On the tactical side of things, I love tomahawks. I think it is the greatest defensive tool, handheld defensive tool made by man. So this is in a custom Kydex sheath a buddy of mine made, but tomahawk, it's just a, which one is this? This is the SOG tomahawk. I have a very nice edge on it, and chopping up kindling, dealing with small stuff around the camp, good thing to have with you. So something you might want to have with you. Most people probably don't have a tomahawk laying around their house though. So yeah, that is what it is. What, baby girl?
I really like how you put the 550 cord around her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she likes how I wrap the 550 cord around the handle over some of that camo form tape for a really good purchase on it. Works really well. All right, talking about good quality knives, this is my favorite. This is my go-to knife. What is it? It is an SE6, as you can see right there. It is the, the Randall's Adventure Training and Equipment Group, SE. This, oh man, I love this knife. This would be a good fighting knife. Not that we're like knife fighters or anything. Great bushcraft knife though. Good for batoning. Good for, you know, using your ferro rod, striking your ferro rod, starting your fires, cutting up anything, cutting up your actually, the best thing it's used for, opening Amazon boxes when you get your bushcraft or your overlanding supplies in, right? I just have it mounted like this, so I basically just keep it right here on my belt. So if I need it, I can just grab it, you know, use it for whatever around camp. Great knife. So, yes, baby.
I had a question. What is batoning?
Batoning. Okay, she asked what batoning is. Let me do a little example right here quickly. Since she asked. All right, here. Let's find something here. One of the benefits of living rural is we got firewood laying around right here next to our backyard fire pit, and I will set it right there. I will take actually I can't use that. I'll use this, and I will use another stick. Let's try this.
Also, Dad?
What, baby?
It's really good that we live right in front of woods.
Yeah, it's nice to live in the woods. All right, you take your knife, stick it in the wood, and then you pound on the back of the knife, which splits the wood. It's a great way to get kindling. All right, thank you for your good question. Some people out there may not know what batoning is. That is batoning.
I meant to ask it the other time you said it, but I forgot.
Oh, it's all right.
Forgot the word batoning.
It's all right. One thing you gotta take with you is food, right? So these 5-year shelf life protein or calorie bars, emergency food rations. Good thing to have while you're out on the trail, or just keep them in the back of your vehicle as extras, kind of. This is 2,400 calorie bar. You can buy these at Walmart. One note when you're buying these things is make sure, see how it's all vacuum sealed and it's nice and tight like this. If it's loose at all or the vacuum seal is compromised, don't buy it. Get them when they're nice and vacuum sealed.
That's my favorite flavor of them.
Yes, it is your favorite flavor. And let me adjust the camera because that light is bugging me. All right, camera adjusted. Just now I'm a little bit closer. Another thing you need to have is some hand sanitizer. You know, you got to keep your hands clean when you're cooking and everything like that. Another thing, if you're doing a lot of hiking and etc., getting out away from camp, foot powder. For anybody that has been, I was in the military for 20 years, anybody that's been boots on the ground in the military knows how important foot powder is. Or hikers, backpackers, those kind of people. They know how important foot powder is. Yes, baby girl. Okay, another thing is vital. I love this shoe goo. I mean, fixing your shoes, but what else? Repairing holes in tents, tarps, so many different uses for shoe goo. Always have some shoe goo in your like survival kit or whatever you call it.
Also, another thing that's really good for fixing shoes too when you're out camping and stuff, the super glue.
Super glue works also.
That was what I had to do on my other pair of shoes.
All right, that's good input. All right, when you're out camping, you need hygiene, right? So you need, that's just some camping toilet paper. I wouldn't recommend buying camping toilet paper. I mean, come on. Just take a roll of toilet paper, crunch it down, throw in some chapstick, some feminine hygiene products if you need them, a bar of soap, and make yourself a little hygiene kit like my wife did here. Another thing when you're out and about is comms. Comms between vehicles is very important, and or comms between you and, say, base camp. If you and the kids are out running around, or one of the kids is playing around, have a bunch of these. Have them take one with them. And I mean, they're short range, yes, there's FRS radios. I would recommend over these a GMRS radio that takes a license, one-time fee, no classes to take. It's not like ham radio, but have comms. Very important between vehicles. Another thing you need is light. Good headlamp,
Yeah.
flashlight, just a sec, baby, and little bits flashlight. These are very useful actually because you can just keep them clipped to your pocket. You always got a flashlight on you, just a little light, you know, not very much. But what do you want, baby?
I had a quick little question. What is a comm?
Communications device is a comm for all those people out there that may have not been in the military. Sorry about that. Good question. All right, another tool is a multi-tool. This is just a cheapo. I think it's an Ozark Trail Walmart one. I have Leatherman's. My favorite multi-tool is a Leatherman Wave. I have several of those. So I have those with me also. This is just an extra one I kind of throw in the kit here. What,
Sorry,
baby?
just one more. Why is it called a multi-tool?
Because it has lots of different things on it. It's a multi-tool because it has cutters, it has knives, it has can openers, it has screwdrivers, all that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
All right.
It has all that stuff.
There. Next is, let's go with cooking and fire starting. Lighter, do it the easy way. You can get a ferro rod and striker also. That's another way to do it. Here's some fuel tabs. I have no idea what brand these are, but I have these. I've had them for a while. Work really well. There's also this kind of fuel tab. You can get these little fuel tabs here, and they work with a stove like this if you're doing this kind of camping or cooking. Oops, I just knocked some out. Anyway, what you do is you open it up like that, and you take out 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever you want of these little things, light them on fire. Your pan for cooking, whatever pot, goes on here, and there you go. Very, very simple, inexpensive.
Don't forget to pick that up and put it back.
Yeah, I'll pick that up and put it back at the end of the video. Last but not least for cooking, I love this. Just the stove little stove to cook on. And what do I love about this model specifically? A lot of people show these little camp cook stove things like this, and they go on all that specialty kind of fuel cans. That one screws on to those simple little green propane bottles. What, they're about that big. You can get at Walmart, you can get sporting goods stores, you can get a lot of different places. So this one works off of propane instead of those high-class, expensive camping fuel cans. That's what I love about this. Awesome. And I've tried to find another one of these, and I couldn't. I don't know if I just need to look harder or whatever, but these are awesome. And you can see in the background, that is pretty soon, once we get it cleaned up, redo the roof and stuff like that, I'm gonna do a video about that. That is gonna be on here, and that's gonna be for overlanding. Another thing is vehicle storage. You got these, just, you know, they're known as ammo cans, but they're, what's nice about them is they have a rubber seal around here, so nice and watertight. You can keep stuff in them. Good storage solution and organization solution while you're out overlanding. And then here's the version you can get just like at Walmart. It's just a plastic case right there. You can see, same kind of thing. They're very nice, very useful, and they have the rubber O-ring around them also. Good storage solution for overlanding. So I want to show you that. This is something also I want to show you guys. This is just a 5-gallon bucket with a camp lid on it for a toilet, right? We have a cabin up in a rural part of northern Washington, which you will probably end up seeing us doing an overlanding trip up to, because it takes some overlanding skill to get to it. Way off grid, way on the top of the mountain, about 5,000 foot elevation. And yeah, we'll be showing you that. That's why we have a lot of this stuff already. Okay, so let's get into shelter also. It's always good to have spare tarps. This is just Ozark Ridge, Walmart. This is the heavy duty version. Don't get the light duty ones. At least get the heavy duty ones. This is a 10 by 20 foot tarp. It is silver and brown. I always use the brown side just because I like natural earth tone colors. All right, so let me set that off to the side. When you're out overlanding, putting on snow chains, working with recovery gear, chopping down firewood, whatever it is you're doing, you want to have a good pair of leather work gloves. So make sure you got some leather work gloves in there, at least one pair, maybe several pairs. Another thing I really like are Write in the Rain notebook and pen. These will, like I say, you can write on them in the rain. So they're very, very useful. Taking notes when you're out hiking, camping, whatever, it's a good thing to have. So check out Write in the Rain. When you're out and about for your locality, if you really want to get out and enjoy life and see what's out there and maybe partake of some wild edibles, have books like this. This is specifically for my region, but they make these books for any region you are in the United States. So check out foraging books so that you can learn what all there is out there to eat. Very good books, lots of photos, very well illustrated and very easy. It makes it much easier to identify wild edibles, so you can, go off grid and survive, or you can just enjoy finding and locating and identifying all these kind of things when you're out and about.
Wait,
It's all about having fun. What, baby girl?
Actually, can I look at it?
You want to look at it? All right. Here you go. Okay, so while you're out looking at things, right, sometimes you might want to see things a little bit better. So just a little pair of binoculars. These are just cheapo Ozark Trail also. You notice the theme. A lot of things. This is kind of like our backup stuff that we just threw in this box here. I have a lot of primary stuff set in other locations, other bags, stuff like that. But a little set of binoculars so that you can watch those birds or that elk or the deer or whatever they are from a distance and enjoy the scenery. So that's something good to have. All right, I love you, baby. Okay, next let's get into water filtration. Water filtration is very important when you're out there. Hopefully you bring enough water, but if you don't, you want to have the ability to filter water. So there are the two big ones that a lot of people talk about are these, Life Straw and Sawyer. I'm going to do a specific video about these, pluses and minuses of each, and tell you which one I recommend, but they are what they are. So there's these, the Sawyer has a pump, has a bag, etc. Have a good water filter with you. All right, next is, well, this is just an item that's always good to have. 550 cord, right? Tying up tarps, setting up your hammocks, your awnings, tying stuff together. Actually, here, I'll tell you a little story. So we're going up to our off-grid cabin, like I told you about, and we hadn't been up there for a couple months. A bunch of wind came in, blew down some of the burnt trees that a wildfire had gone through there over the road. So there was this tree about, it was literally, you know, about that big around, down across the road. So we had this truck loaded up with all of our stuff. All right, I had my chainsaw, I had my tow straps, I had everything I need to take care of things like this. But where were they? They were way back in there in the toolbox. And the whole cab, or the whole back of the truck, including the camper, was full of stuff. Not smart, right? No, it's not. So what did I do? I used a little bit of redneck ingenuity. I took a bunch of that 550 cord, wrapped it around the tree, threw my tow hook on the front of the truck, around the tree, threw my tow hook a bunch of times, and I pulled that tree off the road. Nice thing about having a diesel and some redneck ingenuity. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box and make it happen, right? All right. What, baby?
Do you mind if I go inside real quick and like grab one of your coats? It's freezing.
No, you can go inside and grab a coat. Here we go. It is a little cold out here right now. Okay, so let's talk about shelter. Emergency blanket. Have things like this on hand. They're cheap. Throw a couple in because you never know when you might need them. I've never used them actually because I've never had to because I was smart and I prepared properly for whatever venture I'm going on anyway. But like I said, they're inexpensive. All right, hammocks. There's one type of hammock, an Eno. Good quality hammocks. If you like hammock camping, we do. Another one is right here. Let me see, what brand is this? Kajaro. Ultra light hammock. Yeah, super light, super compact, packable if you like hammock camping. And that's why I have things like this. This is a tarp. It's actually a tarp, but it's actually an emergency blanket style tarp where it has that kind of insulation on it so it'll reflect body heat. So you string the tarp above the hammock. Hammock camping is great if you're in an area where there are lots of trees. But if you're not, hammock camping may not work for you guys. Okay, now little Cassidy's warm, wrapped up in one of my jackets. Okay, we talked about foraging book, we talked about that. Duct tape. Just have a roll of duct tape in there, just like the 550 cord. You never know when you need it to seal a tent, seal your rooftop tent, got a tear in it. Same with the shoe goo, or repairing different little things like that. It's always good to have duct tape in your survival kit when you're outdoors. All right, talked about sleeping, thermarest, air mattress. Why air mattresses? A lot of people say, you know, like tough guys are like, oh, I don't need an air mattress, I'll sleep on the ground, I'm tough. It's not about that. It's about keeping you warm and not losing body heat via thermal conduction. There's two ways to lose body heat, conduction and convection. Convection is like right now, the air is circulating around us, cooling us off. Conduction, contact with an object that's colder than what you're laying, like your body, is conduction. That's loss of body heat through conduction. So if you're sleeping in a tent or on the ground or even in a hammock, think about having one of these underneath you to help insulate your body. Don't want to lose body heat and get cold in the middle of the night. Same thing here, air mattress. You guys all know what an air mattress is. That's more for like tents or, you know, inside that camper, inside the back of the truck here. That's what we've done sometimes, is just throw an air mattress back here and everybody pile in. That's when our other one, our 14-year-old was a little bit younger. So we showed those, we showed these, we showed this. All right, last item I wanted to show you guys is have a bag like this. It's basically like a get-home bag, a survival bag. It has all kinds of stuff in it. It's got a good E-tool, entrenching tool, as military speak. A little shovel, basically. It's good for digging holes if you need to go potty in the outdoors also, if you forgot your bucket here. A lot of good survival stuff in here. Like I mentioned, some of the stuff I have that I showed you is the less expensive version or the cheap knockoffs and stuff like that. That's because all the good stuff is in here. I may do a video about this. Some people call them bug out bags, get home bags. I don't care what you call it. It's like a survival kit. It's got a lot of essential stuff when we're out and about. We live rural, so it's very important stuff. A lot of stuff you have. Another thing you want to think of when you're going overlanding or you're going anywhere rural, off-road, in the middle of the wilderness, proper medical. Make sure you have a good, high-quality stocked medical kit. Very important. Things like tourniquets, a lot of stuff that you might not be thinking about. I can do a completely separate video on that, but I think that wraps it up for this video. Thank you for joining us here on Haven Ridge Adventures. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this one wasn't all fancy edited and stuff like that. You know, sometimes you just got to do simple videos like this talking about real topics that aren't showing you pretty flowers and Jeeps going through big rocks and stuff like that. A lot of times it's just important to cover some of the basics. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you very much for being here. I hope to see you out there.